Any more questions, Joe?
No, that's it.
We got a few minutes. Let's go over to this rectangular one. Oh, that's true shape. Rectangular. Okay. This is a rectangular nesting. This is going to be quick, so it won't get too long. It calculated, it took 9 sheets, as I mentioned. So here are all the parts. I'm not going to go through and fix any of them right now,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to go through this and show
Make sure the accuracy is set properly.
Okay.
Make sure the accuracy is set to low.
Okay.
I don't want it to sit there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we calculated all of this. We already calculated the number of sheets. Let's go ahead and execute that. So what I was saying is, if you look at the preview, this is a geometric preview. Okay. And we've got 4 remnants, and we had it set to vertically, a width, and we had it set to vertical cuts. So any area that it calculated vertically in the y-axis, it considered it a remnant. Okay. So if you look at remnant 0, so this is what I mentioned before, is you have to go through each sheet in order to see which one it goes with. So this goes with sheet number 1. That goes with the last sheet, looks like, or sheet number 6. And then we have a larger one. And you'll see that the remnants are in the order that they appear in the order of the sheets. So you'll see that remnant number 3 is going to be in a sheet that's higher than where you're at right now. So let's just scroll down. So there, that might be it. Let's see, that's that one here. So the way you can tell is because the remnant touches the part, any one part. So the remnant can't be any larger than an actual part. Okay, so that's how you can tell. And then the last one, I believe that was the last one. Okay, so that's another remnant area. Now, if you had it set to stepped, now it would calculate this area, and then the remnant would come this way, up and around. So you'd have like a dog leg type remnant because it stepped it out. That would be the most optimum way. That does probably take a little bit more time to calculate, but it will optimize your remnant sheet. And also what I was mentioning here, adding the remnants back to this file versus having that as separate geometry. Again, you can use that geometry in another job, okay? And you can use that geometry and you can label it, not inside the sheet, but you can label it, say, above the sheet. Say if you're gonna put these remnants in your warehouse, say, okay, you may want to put a label on the actual remnant sheet, like a tag or a piece of paper or whatever on there, and you can put a label above the remnant geometry. And when you come back later, you want to run some smaller parts, you pull up the production drawing, you'll see what the remnant label is. You go to your stock, find the remnant, put it on the machine, and then you can use it. So that's kind of an optimum way to do it. Because if you're running a lot of these things, you're going to have a lot of remnants. You may not use them immediately. So you may want to put them back in your warehouse, but just make sure you label them and label them on your production drawing. But again, don't label them inside the sheet because that area has to be, well, I think if you had your sheets lined up like outside of the quadrant, I think you could have the sheet number in there. And I could be wrong, but I think when you go to select your sheets, if it's outside, I believe it'll add it or automatically put it over here. I'm not positive about that, and you can try it yourselves when you play around with this, but I believe it'll do that.